we as a generation don't work harder than our parents do.
The opportunities for black people when we were born is completely different to what it is now.
We work hard. All I was thinking in my head is like, we work hard. The millennials love living in nostalgia. Do you think that that's true?
Everybody prefers times in their life where they have fewer responsibilities.
I wouldn't just put it down to responsibilities though. I just cannot believe how disgusting some men are in this world.
I don't care how holy you are, my brother. I will snuff your lights out.
Yeah,
and
no.
there'll be a next Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
Your
100.
lights are getting snuffed out.
Yeah, 100.
Are you crazy?
You have to go to bin for that. You told me what you are. You've told the world what you are. Taxpayers to pay 8 million for public portrait. Ah!
Yeah, that one's there is mad, you know. You might just start with that. You screaming. We're in. Welcome back to another episode of the OTR podcast with myself, Sav and Sam Obasaki, the main man, the main character, the main event, the main attraction. See, I gave you the Horner treatment today.
Yeah, you do that. You do that with all of your co-hosts.
Yeah, but I gave you the same treatment today. How do you feel about that?
I feel the same kind. I know it's fake. You do it to all of them.
Whatever, man. If you're watching, please please comment on what we're about to speak about. We're about to speak about some real interesting things.
Yeah, and send emojis as well. I saw an emoji in the comments. I saw a fire emoji. That's what I love to see. If you're watching this, and I know most of you make it for the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes at least. that's what the statistics are saying. So comment, man. Yeah. Comment and let us know what you think about some of the things that we speak about.
Yeah. Real talk, I proper appreciate every person that comments, because I feel like it's one thing to click on the video and watch it. I appreciate the people that do that too. But when I see a comment, I'm like, right, you really paid attention to what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Like on one of the videos, big up whoever you are. Somebody says Sav is a rarity.
That made you feel good, didn't it?
Soul, bro. That touched my soul.
That's one of your friends' burners.
I actually don't know who it is. And whoever you are, big up you, bro.
Sav is a rarity. You know what? Sometimes I listen back to the pod, and this is me being honest. I'm like, no, you can talk sense still. Yeah, you could have gone into politics if you wanted to.
Nah, that's nuts.
Like politics, you might as well. You could be a face of like change.
I'd rather be an OnlyFans model than be in Parliament.
Really?
100%. I'd rather be selling feet pics than
fair enough.
being
Politics
talking
is
to
bollocks.
Rishi on that.
Yeah. Fair. Okay.
Bleep all that.
Just so just vile. But I can't lie. They just deserve. Like when you know what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go into that, how was your bank holiday?
Do you know what? It was actually good. Still, like I needed a break, bro. Like those 4 days. There's something about having a long weekend to just recharge. I need to do more of it throughout the year. Just take off the Friday, take off the Monday, and just recharge. Like we when was it? Friday, yeah. Linked up on Thursday even.
Thursday.
Linked up on a Thursday. Just good vibes. Good vibes. You get me? And sometimes that's needed, to seeing people. Sometimes it just helps with your mental, innit?
Yeah. And
how about you? What did you get?
Same. To be fair, I didn't really do much. We linked up. Then Friday, chilled. I think. And then I went DOT on Saturday.
Yeah.
Always them lot. They're just like pioneers in this thing,
levels, bro. They're levels.
Like I feel like DOT, Recess, Danky. Those are the three. Yeah. Like headliners.
Yeah.
Like if an organization or someone was like proper, they'll do a weekend with one of each of those, or from Friday to Sunday, bro.
I tell you who's really doing their thing at the moment as well. Them R&B slow jam nights.
Oh yeah.
Chucky and Taser.
Yeah.
Big up them too.
A few of my guys went to. They said it was one of the best nights they've ever had.
I've been to one just before the new year. Sensational.
Really?
Sensational.
Did they only play R&B though?
Or
that's just like the main set.
It's like the main sound.
That's
they put
fair
a little,
though.
Like they throw a couple other rhythms on, but the main sound is like really what they've done well to do something that I think a lot of people have been trying to do in terms of like catering to people who are like our age, maybe like 2 years younger than us and above.
Yeah.
So like people who were like from 24 turning 25 upwards. I feel like that's who it's for. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's not many nights now where you can go sing along. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there's some great nights out there, but the sing along nights don't really exist.
Yeah.
The R&B is what that's like. They've done well to tap into that.
Yeah, defo. That's
like,
sick.
big up them,
That's sick.
innit?
Yeah. So that I didn't go to that, but I went to DOT. And then Sunday just chilled, family.
Yeah.
Easter Sunday, Monday just chilled, man. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't really doing much, but it felt good to just have days to just not do much. Like the only thing that I've deeped about getting older is that obviously we know this, but having to like pencil in time to see your peoples is starting to get to me now still.
How do you mean?
Because I just don't see my people no more.
Yeah.
Like as in, I cannot see someone that I'm close with for 6-7 months. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's not good. But do you know what? I've come to the conclusion that that's just sometimes what it is.
Okay, 6-7 months is a stretch, but like 3 months, I think that's bad. To not see someone like
there's people I've not seen in 2023.
Yeah.
There's people I've not seen in 2023.
Yeah.
But that's adult life at the minute. That's just what it is. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think we live in a generation, and we live in such a connected generation that it's not the same way it was when our parents were young. Like for my mum to talk to people that she hadn't seen in 3-4 months, they had to write to each other. Yeah,
that's nuts.
Letters with post stamps and all that.
Yeah.
Man, then we've got WhatsApp, the Gram, Twitter.
You had BBM,
you're connected.
MSN.
You're connected differently now to where like you can see somebody not for that amount of time
and feel like you've seen everything.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's different, but it's still nice to see people in the flesh. And
yeah, definitely. And I think that's what I'm gonna start using my bank holidays, like my Fridays, to do, like just scheduling to see people. Yeah. But I spoke to a lot of people before this weekend. And I was like, oh, like, what are you guys doing? And all that stuff. And they were just like, just not doing. Like, this was the most that I've ever heard someone say they're just not doing anything. Like, and it was mad. Some of the reasons were work. They just want to. But some of it is just like, it's just costly, bro.
It is
like,
costly.
everything is costing so much. And the reason why I screamed at the top of the pod, was because I saw that the taxpayers are now set to pay £8 million for a public portrait of King Charles. Before, that stuff wouldn't get to me like that. But now I'm starting to deep, like the UK, they need something to happen to them.
What does that even mean?
Like the people in charge. And I'm not calling for anyone to anything, man. They wouldn't anyway on this pod. But do you know what I mean? Like they're too comfortable with just taking people's bread, bro. The people in charge are too comfortable with just taking. They say, oh, cost of living this, it's going to get better in a few years, this is that. Oh, but we'll slap 8 million on his portrait. We'll slap 15 million on his new yard. Are we supposed to just act like we don't see the tax coming out of our pay at the end of the month?
It's mad, isn't it? It's actually crazy. But then I feel like, to some degree, we're going to get taxed anyway.
Yeah, but it's not like that. But
we're gonna get taxed anyway, right? Like it's just what it's being used for that's taking the piss.
Yes,
but we're gonna get taxed anyway.
Yeah, defo. But there's people like I'm not saying that because obviously people still have an issue with that stuff. Like, oh, your bread's being used for people that are like single parents and they've got council houses and stuff like that. But honestly, I would much rather see we're spending 8 million on putting houses on top of people's heads that haven't been able to sleep comfy for the last few years or this, that, than seeing what's the portrait? Is it going to be lifestyle? Is it going to be?
It's going to be like, it's not just one portrait.
It's like, portraits.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, it's portraits.
I think it's like something where there's going to be loads
on fire stations, local councils.
Yeah. So it's just like a tradition thing, innit?
But no one wants to see that man's face.
Hear it still.
I don't even, like, I'm not being funny, yeah? When the Queen was in charge, like, there was something royal about the Queen that made me, like, just respect her. Even though there was all of these things, like, all the storylines and stuff like that. When I've watched a few, like, little pieces on who she was or who, like, I feel like if you're royal, if you're in that space, there's a side of you that is just, you're born into, like, a wicked family. For historically what they've been, yeah? But her, there was something different. Him, no. You can see the wickedness. I saw it in that show? What was it on Netflix?
The Crown.
The Crown. I saw one of the episodes when he was messing around with Diana and that.
Brother, you know that's like not real though, isn't it?
It's based off of the actual
it's based on real life,
but a lot of it is real.
Some of it, yeah.
A lot of it.
I don't know. Like you don't know either.
No,
don't sit there and pretend you know what happened.
Did you not see that video of him getting angry because of the pen? It's like this nasty pen. You not seen it?
Wait, after his mum died.
That wasn't it.
It was. You talking about when he's signing something after his mum died?
Yeah.
Yeah, his mum just died.
Yeah, but that's not the point. That's not the point though. Don't make it seem like.
But I can't lie. Some people are a little bit inhuman sometimes. Like my mum just passed away, and now you're shoving a camera in his face, asking him to sign bare documents. Be a little bit human. Just because man's a royal he's a king now, don't mean he's not a human being. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not even an advocate for the royal family. I think
Sound
they were
like it.
weird. I think they were probably aliens as well. I'm joking. I don't think that, but it's like like I think it's all nuts. Like the royal family is weird. They done some real weird stuff.
Yeah.
The Commonwealth is fucked. They basically owned a quarter of the earth at one stage. It's not right.
Yeah, it's not right.
Right? But don't just pretend that they're just not human beings.
No, but I'm allowed to be like that because they don't act like human beings. They're not treated like human beings. So I'm not going to treat them like human beings.
Right.
Because that's what
famous. Remember that, innit?
Listen,
because a lot of people will say the same shit about celebrities.
But that's different. You're not paying for celebrities to live a certain lifestyle, man.
It depends which ones are dodging taxes.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's still not the same. It's still not the same.
I hear it. It's still not the same.
Like it's actually not the same. But they're putting everyone through hell. All the inflations. I'm just tired of it all. To be fair, I'm tired of it all, man.
And you know what? You're entitled to feel that way. I just always say to people, like, if you're gonna be mad, then be mad at something that you've done your research on. I don't think you've done no research on none of this. You're just saying you're just saying, like, you said, oh, they've made a painting, and then you said, yeah, how big's the painting gonna be? You don't even know what's going on.
Though, 8 mil.
You don't even know what's going on.
No, but 8 mil, and I remember the refurbishments to Big Ben was like over 15 mil or something.
It was 50 mil. They spent more on Maguire though.
What, as in football?
Yeah. They spent more on Maguire than they did on Big Ben celebrity.
That's bad both ways. Yeah, that's bad both ways.
Celebrity.
That's just crazy, man. I wish I was a footballer, man.
Speaking of ball, you know, your team is terrible.
There's no point of wasting energy talking about this.
Your team.
But do you think you're going to win the league?
Either way, we're not finishing at the bottom half of the table.
Okay, but do you think I'm going to win the league?
Wait. Just quickly, don't try to change the subject because I know what you're doing. Chelsea is abysmal this season, and I'm going to say it because there was this whole thing that we'll bounce back. No bounce back. There's been no bounce back at all during the whole season. You lot have just been shit the whole time. The entirety of this season.
A lot of change has happened in our club, man. So it's unfortunate that it's turned out this way.
So how does it feel to be on the brunt of that?
I mean,
the back end of all of that madness. Car, you had a lot to say about my team when we was going through problems.
Yeah, but you were going through it for like 15 years.
Not true.
To be fair, it's not. It doesn't feel great, but we can't get worse. And if we do, then
super Frankie Lamps, not so super, bro.
I mean, change was needed. Change was needed. Change was needed.
Lamps.
Change was needed. And I love Lamps.
No, but do you think that's a calm appointment?
I think it's fine.
Why?
Because I don't think that you rush it in the new manager for him to potentially do bad and then go into a new season off the back of finishing a season poor.
But why would you bring in somebody who's trying to blossom in their career? Like, he's not trying to just be.
But he's an interim manager.
Exactly.
Like, and he's young.
They're doing him like Michael Carrick.
And that is honestly fine because Michael Carrick went on to do another job. He went
afterwards. What Middlesbrough?
Yeah, and they can come up to the Premier League.
Nah, I can't.
There's nothing wrong with that. These men are young managers. They don't have to just suddenly step into a job and then just work their way up. Arteta he was working under Pep for like three or 4 years.
First managerial job. Bad boy.
Yeah, he finished 8th twice and 5th.
Bad boy.
He's lucky to even still
never
have that
finished
job.
bottom half.
But he finished 8th
Never.
Twice. That's
bottom
fine.
half.
That's fine though.
Poor.
Is that Arsenal?
Graham Potter, mate.
Yeah, what about him?
Shocking. What a terrible appointment.
I never wanted us to lose Tuchel.
Yeah, I hear it.
So that's just the way I stand.
To answer your question, do I think we're going to win the league? I think it's a toss-up now. I think if we'd gone on to beat Liverpool, I think we would have been like 70-30 on to win it. But with a draw, it's 50-50 now. Like, it all depends on that City game.
I don't think it does.
I think most of it. Do you know what? What we've done now by drawing against Liverpool is apply more pressure to ourselves.
Yep.
I don't think it's necessarily that losing or winning that game would have won us or lost us the league. It's more about
pressure.
Can the players
Mindset.
withstand the pressure now in terms of every game has to be a win. Do you get what I'm saying? Every
And
game
it's
has
so
to be a
deep
win.
because they've done so well.
Yeah.
But I'ma be there no matter what. If you man don't win the league, I'ma be there.
That's calm, bro.
I'ma be there.
You be there.
Yeah.
There is actually nothing you can say to
There
me
is.
that can rattle me.
You wait till that moment. Wait till that moment.
I won't even be able to hear you.
Okay.
I won't even be able to
promise
hear
you
you.
will.
Everything that will come out of your mouth as football related will be void.
It wouldn't.
Because only people that can talk to me are City fans.
It wouldn't.
That's
It
the
wouldn't.
only people that can
It
talk
wouldn't.
to me.
I promise you, I'm gonna be there regardless.
No one can talk to me.
Anyway, we're talking about R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah, and going to those type of events and being able to be in those just being like those nostalgic vibes, like knowing, like, when we always talk about not back in our day, but we kind of do say that, like, when we were younger the music was better, this that. Yeah, someone said on social media recently that millennials love living in nostalgia. Do you think that that's true?
I think it might be to some degree, but it depends on what aspect. Music probably, yeah.
I think with everything,
I don't know if everything,
the way
because we consume things that are completely irrelevant to the time period we were born in.
Like what?
Well, half of the things that we do on a daily basis didn't exist when we were young. Do you get what I'm saying? People will spend the majority of their time and the majority of their day scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all things that didn't exist when we were teenagers. Obviously, YouTube existed, but do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like, to some degree, yes, some of the things that we might look back on and feel fondly towards, whether it's your music and WWE or whatever it might be, there's things that you look back and be like, there was a better time. I hear it, but you benefit so much from things that are happening now, and you just don't really deep it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, because I feel like obviously things are always going to change. Because I'm one of those nostalgia merchants as well. Like,
you definitely
like
are.
everything. I wouldn't even go too far back. Like, I would go like just a couple years back, like when man was like 23, 24 or 20s.
Couple years back.
Shut up, man.
So when you was like 29, 28.
Stop doing that. You're just lying. Like, just a few years back, like, I would say that the standard of living, and obviously like other things factor into it, like the government and like inflation and all that stuff. But life just seemed so much better.
Everybody prefers times in their life where they have fewer responsibilities.
I wouldn't just put it down to responsibilities though. I wouldn't put it down to that.
No, but why do you think people look back at school and think, oh, what a time? It's because they didn't actually have any care in the world, bro. There was no care in the world. The biggest stress that you had in your life was GCSEs. Do you get what I'm saying?
And you didn't even take them. You dropped out before.
Yeah. Like, I dropped out when I was 4. I didn't even go to school. Like, no, but legit, like, when you think about how much people have on their plate right now as adults in comparison to them times, of course people are going to look back fondly on like moments in time that remind them of simpler times. Like, why do you think, like, there'd be so many occasions where a tune will come on and people will be like, oh, when this tune came out, times were so much simpler. Like, I can't lie, the other day, yeah, I just had my phone on just shuffle in my car, innit? Just everything. Shuffle on all playlists, yeah? So all my music, bro, Track Queen, Fetty Wap came on. And that time in my life was so much simpler than it is.
1738.
That was terrible, but calm.
I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello.
Stop.
No, but he was gifted, man.
Hey, brother, that guy had it.
Yeah, he had it, man, and he let it go. I hate seeing things like that because he genuinely had it. Going hard, no days off. Yeah.
There's a couple. What was it? there was another one. My Way. He had My Way.
Baby, won't you come my
way?
Nah, all I wanna do is in my life. But yeah, and he got Drake on it. That's when Drake used to hit up those type of tunes. But oh my gosh, you should jump on.
Yeah, and then RGF Island. He had that tune Again. There was that tune called Again. He had rhythms.
He had bangers,
it
man.
brought me back. It brought me back to that time in my life where
2015-ish.
2014 was when Chat Queen came out.
2014,
2014. Like you just come out of your A levels and you just starting life. It's just like, rah, this is my world. The world is my oyster, fam. Man's just, you get it? That was a different time. So I understand why nostalgia is a thing, because obviously when somebody's reminded of something, it takes them back. You're like, oh, that was so amazing. But I think it's a stretch to say everybody lives in nostalgia. I think that's a stretch. But I get it though. I get why people would say that.
Do you think, that we, like, I don't know how to say this question, but it's like, as adults now, do you, obviously we can't predict, but we can look back. Do you feel like as adults, like we're young adults, do you think we have it harder than it's been in our generation, if that makes sense? Because I don't want to go back, because I don't want to, I remember I had a conversation with one of my guys recently talking about how he was saying that we as a generation don't work harder than our parents do, or our parents did when they came from wherever or working them times. And I was like, but we work hard though, but it's just different. And we work hard. We work hard. Like all I was thinking in my head is like, we work hard. Obviously, their mindset was they had to come from like Niger or wherever it was, Jamaica, Ghana, whatever, came and then they made a living for themselves, brought up a family and that. But like, surely when you're born somewhere, there's a pressure of you just automatically having it patterned because you're from that place, and then you've got to go through all these systems and then put yourself in like a position where you're competing now to get certain roles, and it's just constant. From there, you don't stop learning, you don't stop grafting. Once you become an adult in this country, not with like our cultures, but when you're 18, you become an adult, you move out, and like, do you know what I mean? That's difficult.
I think it depends. Very few people are moving out at 18 anymore. Yeah. I think that for the most part, it's understood that if you're born in London, it's unlikely you will own a property in London. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the prices are just out of this world.
It's madness.
So I think in terms of like having it easier or harder, I don't know. It's tough to say, because for the most part, people will probably grow up and think, I'm gonna have to live on the commuter belt, or I'm gonna have to live somewhere that is not where I grew up. Because let's say you grew up in Brixton, good luck buying there. Let's say you grew up in Clapham. Clapham for me 27 years ago, it's not the same as it is now.
Kennington for me,
good luck buying in those places. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're not good, like, unless you're going in with someone and copying a property, cool. Maybe you might be able to do it. But I think there's an exceptional amount of pressure on people to go and have everything patterned. To your point, yeah, you're right. But then on the flip side, there's also an understanding that people was copying yards for like 50 grand, 100 grand when our parents were copying yards. Do you get what I'm saying? 30 bags. And I know inflation is a real thing, but even if you equate that to today's market, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
They're not competing with the same set of circumstances, but they were all doing things without being taught this. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like there's more information out there now. Luckily, this is something kind of leads back to the nostalgia thing. People benefit so much from social media. There is so many ways to go and learn about properties and learn about credit scores and learn about all these things that if you didn't have the means to do it back in the day, like in terms of you didn't have somebody who had the knowledge, you just wouldn't know it. Do you get what I'm saying? There was no Google, you had to go library and go get a book or figure out, do you get what I'm saying? Or go and do it for the first time, fail and then do it again. Like nowadays there's so many ways. Big up, like, have you heard of what's this guy's name? It's like Kaz Property or something like that. I can't remember. I met him at a Rimsey event, the entrepreneur event. Lit guy, like just cool, interesting, but had to learn how to do everything himself, innit? And when it comes to property, I feel like it's one of those words that are property. It's like a buzzword. Oh, I'm gonna get into property. What do you mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, how are you gonna get into it? You doing the Airbnb thing? You doing no money down? Are you doing like, what are you doing? But I'm going off on a tangent here, but this is all to say there's so much information out there that I think that it's hard for me to say we've got it more difficult, because there's so many opportunities. Do you know what I mean? The opportunities for black people when we were born is completely different to what it is now. Completely different to what it is now.
Yeah.
Like 30 years ago, to be a black person in London it's just not the same experience. Do you get what I'm saying? So I can't say we've got it more difficult. I just can't say that.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like I think I spoke to you about it before. I used to sit like listen to stories my Uncle Dennis would tell me about how bro, man was waking up. I was going to school, was fighting on the way to school, fighting the skinheads, the Teddy Boys, all them people there. Going to school, fighting the racist kids of them people there in the school. Leaving the school, fighting their dads. On the way back from school, going to sleep, waking up, going to school, fighting the same people. It's long. How can I say that we had even an experience that even resembles that? We haven't. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's all relative though.
Yeah, it is. And that's why it's just so interesting. Like, I feel like that conversation, I feel like it would be interesting to have a conversation with a parent from that generation about that. Because some parents can acknowledge that, like, the information that they got, that it was a thing that spread, like London or UK or Canada or the US, these places, more opportunities, and then they all just started flooding. Like, do you know what I mean? So,
which is mad, bro.
Obviously, it's difficult, but like it's the same thing, like information spreading and you learning and stuff. But in this generation, obviously the racism isn't as direct, but subconscious can hurt as much, like without it being physical. Like someone saying, like people saying things that, you know, like not being able to act on it. At least they could act on the racism. Do you know what I mean?
To some degree, I think. Who was it that said it the other day? I can't remember, but there's something to be said for underlying racism that is quite difficult to counteract, because how do you go about it? It's kind of tough, right? If somebody calls you the N-word, you know what's going on. You know where you stand. It's hard when you can't put your finger on something because you're trying to figure out where you stand. Yeah. But then you clock where you stand, but to explain it to somebody else is impossible because they'll never be you, and they'll never be somebody who can understand your lived experience. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's definitely something that is different to contend with. I can't say whether it's harder or not harder, but it's definitely different. I feel like bro, how many times have we been in scenarios where my man's off? It's for a reason, and you can't say the reason because you look like you're drawing for the race card every time. But you know the reason.
Poor still.
Do you know what I mean?
But that is it's an interesting conversation.
What do you think? Do you think it's harder?
No, there's when I went into that convo, I was like, we did have it hard, but when you look at all the factors that our parents went through up until things, like, because I think things drastically changed at points in the UK, like, do you know what I mean? Where it became better for black people, it became better for foreigners, but then there's moments where it's like not progressed as fast, or it's gone back, or you taken one step forward, 2 steps back, and stuff like that. So it just depends. Like, if you put someone's parent situation up against someone that's been through hardship from when they grew up in the UK, it could be like, oh, this person. But I think I don't know. I think overall they had it harder. They had it harder because, like you said, knowledge and finding that, and the language barrier and all of these things, like it's just different completely.
It's just different, bro. And it's mad because you kind of I was thinking about this the other day, yeah, and like to come to this country, bro. This racist country.
Yeah, this racist country still. That's nuts. Mad. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts.
It's so mad. There was, and it's like
going to the US is madder though. They got guns.
Yeah, yeah. Going to the US is mad. Like I've got like half of my family migrated to the US from here. So obviously, big up my Uncle Larry, trailblazer, trendsetter, first one to come over from yard, came here, set up shop, said, yo, he had like 10 brothers. He said, yo, it's patterned. Like let's try to set up something. Let's make something go on over here. Everyone came over. Everyone, right? Probably the second generation after that. You know what? They thought, you know what? I'm going to go to the States and try a thing. UK, States, can't be that dissimilar. But they patterned it. Like, I can't lie, I went out there for the first time to New York the other day. It's like, my family over there has got things on smash.
Really?
What? What? Bro, it's crazy. But you know what I think it also comes down to, though? Immigrant mindset is different. Your goal-getter.
It's like a hustler mindset. Yeah,
it's
like
like
your
mindset. Instant goal-getter.
Yeah.
But like, I was thinking about, like, just to touch on this quickly, yeah. And this is not even to slate no one or go at anybody in particular, but like, I've never seen more blatant racism in this country in my like era of observing the government, right? And it goes back to what we were saying about how it's a different time. Back then they called you certain things. It was no blacks, no dogs, no Irish, right? Nowadays, you got to read between the lines a little bit more. Now, on the face of things, when they said to the Ukrainians, yo, come, like, we've got you, it sounds amazing and it's great. But that is the most sometime-ish thing that the British government could have ever done. Like, how can you say we'll accept millions, bro, of essentially refugees, asylum seekers, right? But your whole immigration policy is based around sending people who are a different shade of colour home to where they come from. Do you get what I'm saying?
Some of them are coming from worse
war-torn countries. And this is why I always say, bro, if you're only against the oppression of your own kind, you're not against oppression at all, man. At all. Big up Ukrainians. It's nothing against them, man. It's just, it's like, it's more about this. It's government.
The mindset. It's the mindset. Because I've seen those conversations. It's like, yeah, no, you're right. Still, because you'd think that it's something different, but it's not. It's a war, bro, and they're helping. You're not in the EU anymore, so you're not actually obliged to help anyone. Like, but they are.
How is it different to people from Rwanda who went through the genocide over there, seeking asylum in the UK, and still to this day having to fight to stay here? Like, these people came over in the early 2000s, some of them, and they're still fighting now to try and stay in the country. They was coming from a genocide in their home country. I just don't get it, bro.
It's like, mad still.
It's so mad, bro. It's so mad, bro. And like, it's embarrassing that I'm from here sometimes. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel embarrassed. Yeah. Like, I go abroad. Oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Britain. It's embarrassing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, you're British. Like,
yeah.
It's an instant like judgment.
Yeah.
And quite rightly so.
Yeah.
Quite rightly so.
It's mad still.
But I will never claim it like that. But I have to, because it's part of my heritage. Whether I like it or not, fam.
Boy, I'm ready to jump ship. I saw something crazy the other day.
Yeah. Boy, we both did. Is this if I know what you're about to move on to?
I just didn't know what to. I just cannot believe how disgusting some men are in this world.
Yeah, there was a video that circulated of the Dalai Lama lips in a ute, right? Now, from what I understand, it's customary for him to hug the kids, right?
No idea. I think so, though.
There was something about how usually they go for a hug and whatever.
Yeah.
And that time, he decided to ask the youth to kiss him. Now, they calling him His Holiness. Yeah, His Holiness. They came up with a statement to say, oh, if His Holiness offended anybody, then blah blah blah. Did you see all of that? I don't care how holy you are, my brother. I will snuff your lights out.
Yeah, no.
There'll be a next Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
Your
100.
lights are getting snuffed out.
Yeah, 100.
Are you crazy? Don't be doing them things there.
It's the audacity, though.
Don't be doing them things.
No, but it's the audacity, Sav. That was a big occasion. It was being recorded.
Cameras in front of
everything.
And people are all clapping and
the youth's by himself.
Excited.
Making the youth kiss the man in the first place is insanity.
It's crazy.
But to see the actual video go on for him to stick out his tongue.
It's insanity, bro.
Like you have to go to bin for that. You've told me what you are. You've told the world what you are.
Do you know what it is?
Because that's not what. If he's doing that on cam,
then what are you doing behind closed doors?
Come on, man.
That's the scary part, because you felt comfortable to do that. You felt this is calm. So whatever you're doing, I don't know, man. It's crazy to me. Did you see Theo Campbell's tweet about how pedophilia is being normalized and all that stuff?
Yeah.
You did, yeah?
Yeah.
It doesn't ring truer than situations like this.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to see the clip. Did you watch the clip?
Yeah.
What was it saying?
It's not good.
It's like there's a guy talking about...
Oh, the clip that Theo Campbell... No, I ain't seen it.
He was about 50. He told me when he was about 50 that he had sex with a young man when he was 9 years old. He said it was his choice. He said he wasn't pressured or manipulated. He said he had no regrets about that sexual experience. So my view is, that's what he's saying. It's his personal view as an adult, mature man looking back on his childhood. If he says
Are you deep in how much he's trying to normalize paedophilia?
Now, I accept that most sex involving young people is abusive and wrong.
Most?
His view is
all of it!
But it's not a view that should be dismissed and denied.
Who is that, man?
I don't know who he is, but whoever he is, somebody needs to find Donny and question him severely.
Yeah, severely still.
Because my man then wrote, he said, the way things are going, the pedos are going to win everyone over and everyone going to be fighting for them soon enough. I feel like a good nuclear war is something we deserve at this point. A great reset is needed. Obviously, he went too far. It's a mad statement to make, but he's right though.
He's right still.
And then he deleted. He said, I deleted my last tweet because being anti-pedophile is a bad thing in today's world. Proved my point though, I guess, because he was getting bare backlash.
No, but people are nuts. But that comes on to another thing that we spoke about before, about all these series and, bro, like you and people love this shit.
People love weird stuff. And I think I can't.
Have you watched You?
I've watched like the first season.
And it's a man that he's
a psychopathic.
He's a psychopathic serial killer. He's the main character.
Yeah.
And there's 5 seasons.
Yeah. And it's one of the most successful shows in Netflix history.
But people, so if I were to say that there's an issue with that, is there an issue with that or is there not an issue with that?
Is there an issue with you saying that?
Yeah.
I can't say if there's an issue with you saying it, but people say, it's just fiction. It's just a story, right? Which to some degree, yeah, you're cool, but stories are powerful things. Do you get what I'm saying? There was a whole there was a whole thesis written on the series 24. Have you heard of it? You know, the one with Jack Bauer. Yeah. Big him up. Great character. Have you watched 24?
I've watched the season or something.
Okay, well, there was a character in 24 called President Palmer.
Yeah.
First black president to be appearing on the screens.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for the acceptance of that in America, with 24 being one of the biggest shows at that time, and him being one of the characters in it. It prepared people to be somewhat, okay, maybe Obama might be all right. And it's mad that people would think like that because of a TV series, but is that real?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for people to say that stories don't have impact
on how people view things?
I'm not hearing it.
Because there's some wild things that we won't speak on. That is not like everything. Everything is just allowed.
And you're almost rooting for man not to get caught. When you're watching you're rooting for man not to get caught.
Which is mad.
He's a serial killer. It's the same way with Jeffrey Dahmer. Did you watch that?
I can't watch that.
I haven't watched it,
because
but
he
from
killed
what
black people.
Huh?
Apparently, his main target was black people.
Is it? See,
yeah.
I haven't watched it. I don't want to
black
watch it.
men or something.
I can't watch it. He ended up getting killed by a black guy, innit? Ended up getting smoked. A black
Really?
guy killed him, yeah. In jail, I think.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Something about that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But, like, I was listening, like, a couple of our brethren said it's mad. When you're watching it, it's like you end up rooting for man not to get caught. But this is a sicko.
Yeah, nuts.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Nuts.
It's like the normalization is a little bit mad.
Yeah, and it's just gonna it's just happening in front of our eyes. People like we can, like, we're a podcast, yeah. We speak on different things. If we spoke on madness, I feel like madness will attract mad people. But there's a lot of mad people in this life. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if we were to have narratives and go off and say we think this is the case. Andrew Tate, for example, he didn't start with Millions. He just started talking his mad stuff, and a lot of people caught onto it, started feeling him.
Alright, cool. I'm not an advocate for everything man says, but I can't even condone saying what he says is mad stuff, because some of the stuff he says is quite basic.
Yeah.
But then some of the stuff he says
is extreme.
Is too far.
Okay, yeah, it's extreme.
But there's two sides to the coin with my man. But he's also a master marketer. He knows how to get clicks and he knows how to get traction. Master marketer. So some of the stuff that he says that's facetious, you're just gonna have to take that with a pinch of salt and just know that he's saying it because he wants to get attention.
Facetious, I like that word.
Come on.
You read dictionaries, you strange man.
What does that even mean?
Fam, I remember one of my guys used facetious just because he liked the word, but it never made sense with what he was saying. So it's funny to hear it.
I read dictionaries. No, but yeah, fam, I don't know. You threw me off now. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, fam, like
facetious. It's a big word still.
It's got 3 syllables. It's a common
word. It's a nice one still. But no, we're talking about. But I actually think that, okay, it's just going to happen, and then the reaction is gonna be like, cause bro, like, not being funny. There is a caliber of person in this world that is allowed to get away with anything. Yeah, and that has already been normalized. So
yeah, and
the fact
go on.
So the fact that this has happened, and it's like, oh, he's sorry, move on. It's just showing that it's just gonna seep through. It's just gonna seep through, and then it's just gonna be normal, bro. You're gonna see like grown people with youths, and people are gonna say, well, it's their choice.
God forbid.
That's when it, like, we're already getting near the end anyway. So, but boy,
God forbid, bro. Like the thing for me, and I think one of the biggest indicators, like you said, this is a certain caliber of people, and a certain type of person in society who have a level of immunity to these things, and it's indicated in the prison system, because you can do the mad thing to a 4-year-old and get 8 years in jail. You can get caught with half a cake. You can get caught with half a cake. You could get caught with like a couple keys of coke. You're doing a long time, double the amount of time. You can get joint enterprise for killing somebody that you weren't even there on the scene for, and be doing a life sentence, IPP, no parole. You get not just a life sentence, but you're also on life parole. You get a speeding ticket, you're going back to jail. You weren't even on the scene for the murder. Somebody just called your phone afterwards. You weren't even there. But these people who are fucking kids, are getting single digits.
That is so poor. That is so poor, man. But that's what I mean, man. The world's done. People are done. Everything is just done.
Bun like hellfire for every person who's ever even looked at a child in that way.
Yeah, nah, you're wrong and still.
You are a wrong and hellfire for you.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, because, for example, Marcus Houston married his girl.
Yeah.
She's 19. Met when they were
That's
17.
all mad.
But met when they were 17. They didn't link up until, or didn't get married or something until they were 18 or something. And he did an interview and he was like talking about it, and like there was like slow music on the back, and he was saying he could just tell that they were spiritually like connected, and like they were just so alike. It's like, fam, you're a grown man, grow up.
It's very weird, bro. It's so weird.
Weird
and
though.
it's so normalized because of the fact that it's like just happens in front of our eyes. Like Tiger groomed Kylie Jenner in front of everyone, bro. Oh yeah, we're just friends. And then as soon as she turns 18, they're whacking. As soon as. But it was just bridges before. Drop me out, bro. I can't. This is why I need to leave Western society and go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else still. That's the biggest thing. You just need to go somewhere else, to be honest. I got one last question before you cut it to. What's your biggest pet peeve when you meet someone new or you're meeting new people?
Just rudeness.
Really?
I hate rudeness, bro. There's no need.
Okay, but that's not really like, okay, that can be a pet peeve, but something that someone wouldn't know about, like, obviously being rude is like, that's actually a bad character trait, but there's something that is like, could be calm for someone else, but it's not calm for you.
Rude to waiters. People being rude to waiters.
Really?
Or people being rude to individuals who are in a situation where they can't say nothing back to you because they'll lose jobs or they'll lose something, or it will have consequences on them but not on you. Find that shit mad. Oh, if you could be a 10-10 girl. If I take you out on a date,
you're rude to,
and you're rude to a waiter, get in the bin, delete my number, delete me your socials. Don't ever talk to me again. Don't ever talk to me again. If you're rude to waiters, instantaneous ick.
Really?
Instantaneous ick.
What if they had a bad day?
And it's also like, I can't come back from that. Like, you know when Horner came on and said if you used to see a girl trip, you couldn't come back from it.
Yeah.
I can't come back from seeing somebody be rude to a waiter. I can't come back from it.
I need to bring that clip back. That is hilarious. No, I hear it.
What about you? Pet peeve?
Too inner, too soon.
Like, it's too familiar.
Asking too many questions about me. Like, why are you asking so many questions?
What,
bro?
like, what kind of questions?
Like, so like, I saw one. You're like, how are you? Like, what do you do for a living? Are you happy? Like, are you really happy though? Like, or like just ask it. Like, just you're too inner too soon, bro.
That's quite a good question though. What do you mean? Like,
I don't want to tell you all that. What am I telling you all that? Like, would you want me to cry? Like, or like what, bro? Like, let's just have a normal general introduction. Like, how you been? Oh, like, where'd you work and all of this stuff. Oh, yeah. I've heard of that company. This is that. Like, that's where when people are too inner and also too close.
What, physically?
Yeah, you're too close, bro. Do when you speak to people, do you cut eye contact, or do you look at them straight?
I try and maintain eye contact because I feel like it shows you're engaged in the conversation.
I struggle to like, I'm better now than ever. Sometimes I'm looking at someone, I'm like, wow, I'm actually still engaged, but like, it's not even just engaged. I feel like looking at someone for too long is strange. It makes me feel weird. It makes me feel so weird. Like, you're just looking, I'm just looking at it. Imagine if we did the whole pod just looking straight into each other's eyes.
Yeah, but that's different though.
How is it different?
It's different because, one, I know you. Like, when you meet somebody for the first time and they're just bare intensely looking into your eyes, it's a bit much. I don't know you like that. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you, like, you know somebody a long time and you're just having a calm interaction with them, it's not that deep to look at your brethren whilst you're talking to them.
No, but for that long. Like, I was just looking at you and I felt weird. Like, I felt weird while you was talking. It's like, bro, I could look somewhere else. It's a quick split second, not just straight in your eyes. Nah, nuts. But that's just me. That's just me.
But I don't know. Eye contact is good. One thing I will say, yeah, man, them, when you're meeting someone for the first time, a good handshake goes a long way.
Yeah.
Like, I can't explain how weird I feel when I shake a man's hand and it's just limp. Like, I can't explain to you how weird it makes man feel. I want you to actually, like, are you a man?
Yeah.
Shake my hand properly.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at me in my eye and shake my hand. Don't do this. Oh, yeah, nice to me. I feel like I'm holding on to a piece of paper.
No, but sometimes just a quick spud, or like I can just do like anything, any way that you wanna. Sometimes man, like sometimes
a
you
spud's
don't.
calm. Like, that's calm. If I just cool, that's fine. I'm talking about like when you're actually, I don't know, let's say it's a business meeting.
Corporate.
Or if you're meeting someone's dad, let's say you got shake that
spud
hand
him
properly, bro. Nah, don't listen to this guy.
What are you saying, Unc?
Nah, don't do that.
That's calm.
It's not. Be respectful. Of your
Be
elders.
respectful still. Even Dobale, if you need to, like Dobale is when you.
Oh, is that what
Elizabeth
was doing?
Yeah.
Big up, Mama Dinya, that video. Oh my god, that was so funny.
I don't think it was that funny.
Nah, it was bigger.
It was. We need to get back on. But yeah, that was another episode of On the Rocks podcast. Let us know your pet peeves in the comments below. What you think of. I've got a few others as well, but yeah, we'll do that on another episode. Remember, we're almost at 800 subs. So tell a friend. Just, you know what, I like this podcast. You should subscribe. If you've made it this far, that means you are real. So you should tell a friend to subscribe. We make 800. We might do a little giveaway. Give one of Sav's hats or tracksuits or something along those lines. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. Love you. Peace.
Starshio, you know.
It's mint. Bye.